want to talk about some recent Love After Lockup updates. First, starting off with Kevin and Kayla. Even through all the ups and downs throughout the years, these two are still hanging out and posting pictures together. And Taylor just posted a picture of her and her new boyfriend that she recently became Facebook official with. Candice, she recently posted that she is pregnant and expecting a baby boy, and she's due in February of 2025, so she only has like 5 more months left to go. And she has not said who the father is, but she's still with her husband she married on the show, so I'm assuming it's likely his. I wonder what her ex Andrew is up to nowadays. Now let's talk about Puppy. She just got herself into trouble recently, and she was arrested on September 7th, and she is still currently behind bars. She was charged with possession of controlled substances, receiving stolen property, and possession of meth. I can't remember the exact length of Puppy's probation, but I know it was pretty long. I want to say it was like 15, 20 years. So I want to be shocked if she's looking at some prison time for these charges. Now let's talk about Arthur. Arthur ended up posting to his stories today, and he said the shooting case against Hope finally dropped. I just found out this morning that the case has been dismissed. God is good. Then he posted a picture of himself saying daddy's on the way. I decided to make a post on Instagram to let everyone know, and I guess I misunderstood what he was saying. I assumed that Hope had dropped the charges against him since he was no longer having to deal with that case, but Arthur's mom commented and said Hope did not drop the charges against Arthur. The DA rejected the case after reading the reports and found that there was not enough evidence to support the claim. So they wiped out the biggest charge he had, which was an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which was a $150,000 bond, and he still has 2 cases that he's facing. He has a unlawful carry weapon with a felony conviction, which is a $50,000 bond, and an unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, which is a $35,000 bond. Arthur then posted to his stories, I wouldn't even be writing this if I absolutely didn't need to. I did get great news of my main case being dismissed, which reduced my bond by $150,000. Now I have something that I can work with, but my bail is now $85,000, of which I only need $8,000 to bond out. Do not feel sorry for me, but I'm asking you guys to please help me bond out of here. Please help me to raise at least $4,000, and please share this post. And then he shares a CASHAPP if anybody wants to help. And then he shared his GoFundMe, and I've noticed that several more people have donated to his GoFundMe. I think the last time we covered it, it was at like $400, and now it's sitting at $700 of his $25,000 goal. And now let's talk about Dylan. The last time we spoke on him, a few days ago, he decided to get his ex-girlfriend's name tattooed on his hand as a way to try to get her to give him another chance. And it looks like things aren't going so well for Dylan still to this day. He ended up posting on his Facebook, and he said, hopefully somebody sees this and nothing happens to me. I'm very Marissa and a number of individuals that we know mutually are in some sort of conspiracy to have me framed for murder or accidental death or crimes related to automotive or property damage, which are all eligible for compensation from insurance companies. And if you didn't see Dylan's profile picture and his name on that post, I would have thought I was reading a post from Heather for a sec. It really sounds like these two have a lot more in common than we realized. It's my belief that this is a multi-level scheme that involves not only insurance companies and their agent able to write multiple policies for the same individuals and not only earn commission, but to pay out as the beneficiary. For days, Marissa and her friends have been feeding me drugs and keeping me isolated in an attempt to keep me unaware and unable to seek help. I have proof. Someone please advise me on what to do. And when he asked for help and what he should do, somebody commented and said he needs to go live. And he did end up going live. But all he did was drive around for like a minute and not really say anything. And it really didn't seem like he was isolated, or if you're isolated and trapped like you claim, maybe if you're driving around on live, this is the perfect time to try to get away. He was literally just saying how Marissa's the victim, and now he's completely switching up the narrative. And now let's talk about Shantae. So True actually posted this video back in the day, this is like some months ago, of Shantae meeting his baby mama. So this is True's baby mama that he shares a son with. She currently lives in Virginia, and apparently her and Shantae get along pretty well. And now let's talk about Derek. I ended up reaching out to the arresting agency when he went back to jail. They did finally respond today, and they just gave me this information that he was arrested for a parole violation. They did give me the information, though, on how to get more details on this parole violation, so hopefully I hear back more on that soon. And his ex, Monique, she hasn't been too happy because she really hasn't been saying anything about Derek and his girl in a hot minute. And then she posted on her backup page that she was hit with more legal paperwork just a few days ago. She opened her mail and she saw that she has to go to court once again because Derek's girl is allegedly making these claims that Monique is harassing her and won't leave her alone. And Monique said, look, usually I don't give this energy. That's why I didn't go to the last court date for the last case and just let them, do what they wanted to do, because I didn't want to waste my time with it. But she said she had no interest in talking to Derek, so she really didn't give a damn if there was a restraining order against her from Derek, and she just let it be. And now she's starting to get pissed off because she claims that there's all kinds of lies and defamation throughout this paperwork of different statements that Derek's girl gave to the police. And Monique said, you know what, I'm pissed off, and now I think I'm going to fight it to the full and go after her for lying. So I'm curious to see what's going to come about all that. I don't know why they're still messing with her, because I cover every single time Monique talks about them. And it's probably been at least a good month since we've heard anything from her. You guys want to know a storyline I really miss? Is Michael and Sarah and Megan and who was that other girl that he's currently with? The whole love triangle they had going on. They need to bring back another storyline like that, because that storyline was messy as hell. Michael has had his fair share of arrests since the show, and according to Sarcasm, he was just arrested again recently a few months ago on July 5th after he got into this altercation with this man and ended up threatening police officers. So apparently on July 5th, he's sitting outside in this neighborhood, setting off fireworks, and the neighbor approached him and said, look, the fireworks that you're setting off are not allowed in this area. They're dangerous. And Michael just completely disregarded what the man said. He continued to set off the fireworks, and the victim even claimed that one of the fireworks even hit him in the left arm at one point. This led to another dispute, and the victim claimed that Michael made several threats towards him, and I guess due to the nature of the threats, the victim believed that Michael had a firearm on him. So I would assume how the victim's explaining it, that Michael was probably like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you, or pop a cap in your ass if you don't shut up. And so the victim decided to call 911, and the police ended up showing up. They made contact with Michael, and they ended up patting him down and a few other people down at the scene trying to look for a firearm. And they claimed while they were patting him down, Michael allegedly charged and pushed one of the officers with both of his hands. Like, what is up with these inmates trying to fight officers. Like Dalton was just doing the same thing with his recent arrest too. And so Michael was then arrested. He was taken to jail, and the police made a note that they believe that Michael was under the influence of alcohol and made statements that he wanted to take his life while he was being transported to the jail. Now when he gets in jail, I'm sure he'll have to be by himself, since he made threats to end his life and have to wear a pickle suit. If you guys don't know what those outfits are, it's an outfit like where someone cannot hurt themselves. And it's, since he made threats to end his life, you already know the officers are going to have a pickle suit waiting for him as soon as he gets to jail. And for those of you guys who don't know what a pickle suit is, it's like a special outfit they give you so you don't end up hurting yourself. You know, they don't want to give you a normal set of pants and a shirt because they don't want you to try to hang yourself. So apparently this is supposed to be the safest option. Plus, I'm sure he'll be in a cell all by himself, being watched 24/7 at first, since he made those type of threats. So he ended up getting arrested, and he was charged with felony aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, and misdemeanor resisting an officer. And I guess the prosecutors decided to drop the felony charges against Michael. They probably didn't have sufficient evidence, but the misdemeanor charge of resisting an officer is still open, and he has an upcoming court date on October 28th. But that is it for this week's updates. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out my cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.